Good evening, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Main News. The headlines. A 24-year-old female cerebral palsy patient raped by a known KANYAMA man. MMD says it's still contemplating on which side of political alliance it should belong to. World Health Organization assures Zambians over the safety of COVAX vaccine for COVID-19. And in international news, Mozambique UNREST regional leaders discuss ways of ending violence. And in sports, MBOLA is raided as former TP MAZEMBE left back joins NKANA. Join me with the main news in detail after this commercial. Are you a qualified and skilled marketing person? Have you got the passion and motivation as a marketer? Camnet TV is looking for self-motivated, qualified marketers. For more details, please call 0962 965 883 or send your details to the email info@camnettvafrica.com. Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. And now the main news in detail. The Pentecostal Assembly of God Council of Bishops have called on all political parties to ensure continued peace and coexistence as the country heads towards the general elections. Addressing the media Thursday morning, PAOG President Bishop Dr. Joshua Banda says no one should be killed in the name of political party. And Bishop Banda has commended President Edgar Lungu for consistently condemning political violence, which he says is a clear indication of government's commitment to holding a peaceful 2021 election.
Easter is an important event in the calendar of Christians as it reminds them of the importance of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. It is celebrated by Christians as a joyous holiday because it represents the fulfillment of the prophecy of the Old Testament and the revelation of God's salvific plans for all mankind. And as Easter period nears, the Pentecostal Assemblies of God Council of Bishops has called for peace in the country ahead of the August general elections. Assemblies presiding Bishop Dr. Joshua Banda at a briefing in Lusaka said Easter should be seen as an opportunity to foster the spirit of harmony and national unity.
For the Christian community in general, and the Christian nation that we are in particular, the Easter period presents or gives us an opportunity for reflection and repentance. It is indeed an opportunity to foster the spirit of harmony and national unity. Our Lord Jesus Christ demonstrated such love and grace and mercy for fallen and sinful humanity to the extent that he sacrificed his own life to reconcile and save all those that come to him in humble contrition and repentance.
The presiding bishop has also called on all political parties to ensure continued peace and coexistence as the country heads towards the general elections.
We further call upon leaders and members of political parties to ensure continued peaceful coexistence of our people. And we, in this particular sense, denounce intra-party and inter-party political violence. We reiterate our previous messages that no one should die or be killed in the name of a political party or in the name of politics.
And on the COVID-19 vaccines, the bishop has praised government for taking a step and procuring the vaccines, but says that those who intend not to take the vaccines should not be discriminated.
To accept and soon start administering the vaccines, some vaccines to citizens. In the absence of the availability of locally tested or developed alternatives, the decision of the government is commendable. However, we caution, as we have done in other meetings in different fora with stakeholders, including the government, and also through our other affiliate groups such as the Evangelical Friends of Zambia, we have cautioned that the decision to be vaccinated should be based on individuals' free will, and that no limitations such as profiling leading to restrictions on individual liberties should be allowed.
Zambia is in the capable hands of God Almighty, and Easter is a demonstration of ultimate love that one should lay down his life for others. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
A 24-year-old girl of KANYAMA Garden House area living with cerebral palsy has been raped by a known assailant of the same area. Narrating the ordeal to Camnet television, mother to the victim, Elizabeth Munkombwe, says the assailant dragged her daughter, identified as Memory Hamunga, in an unfinished building where he took turns on her before being caught red-handed. The matter was then reported to Plainview Police Post, where the perpetrator was arrested but later released without any explanation.
Her condition is not the only pain that this 24-year-old girl of Lusaka's KANYAMA Garden House has to live with, but the pain of also being raped without having to scream or defend herself. This is Memory Hamunanga, who was on 6th March 2021 raped by a known assailant of the same area, who has only been identified as Joe, between the age of 28 and 35 years, by the victim's mother. The assailant took advantage of the mother's absence and dragged the cerebral palsy girl to an unfinished building, where she watched hopeless, unable to scream or defend herself due to her condition.
Nenze natoka hapo pa nyumba na bwana leta ndio pale sister wanga. So na bwana siya mwana na mfana wanga kunyumba. Amena bwana siya pa nyumba na boleta ndio. So pa na bwererako na peza mwana kulipe pa nyumba. Na mbo kumsakira malumu zimonse na peza kulipe mwana. So na bwana gazi na chikapena chitabwanji anikonkamo akaanza kunikonka lero. So nde vatina bwata pusanira na mfana wanga hivi na anabwera pita so na nabwera kwa nene nze na chitabwanji kwa nene nze na peleka ndio kwenda chitabwanji kwenda muona. So pane nzo bwerera mumbuyo so na bwana anga chape ku light huku muchinyumba so na bwana ona muntu. So muntu yo enze gone so enze choyanga na pansi. So na pane naona tisau kanje pane na bwana zinguruka na pita kudona tinishitebwanji ni muone. So pane nange na mchiru moja mwamuna nje panashita bwanji pana nyamuka. Anyamuka na bwana mugwira. Ni mugwire kumanja na bwana chita so kumanja. So atajumpe na bwana gwira kabagi kanenza na papa kumbu.
The perpetrator was later arrested and detained at Plainview Police Post in the area, where he has now been released on police bond and walks scot-free and might be looking for the next victim to torture. Meanwhile, medical reports from the University Teaching Hospital where the victim was taken for examination have not been released 3 weeks from the incidents.
Muna wanamtosa pa 27, wanamtosa police bond alipanyumba. Hospital panika tinabata mpeleka pa 7 tinabata mpeleka ku hospital ku UTH tekwa neba naenda bamupima pima so maliza uti akalipobwera.
The mother is now scared that the assailant might walk scot-free and wants government and other stakeholders to come to her aid and ensure that the assailant faces justice.
Nzofuna uti government initandizeko pankani ini kulingana vamenari nati ichitebwanji initandizeko kulinkanya nena chitika.
Many cases of gender-based violence and rape have gone unheard because the victims do not know what to do or where to go, and those with resources have used them as an escape to cover their dirty shades. It is hoped that this case will not only be another dead case, but that the assailant of such a despicable act of no remorse is brought to book and justice prevails. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, the Federation of Small-Scale Mining Association of Zambia has pointed out the lack of access to international markets. Training and investment in equipment are among major setbacks hindering the growth of the sector. Federation President Joseph Mwansa made the remarks during the launch of a strategic plan in Lusaka on Wednesday. Mr. Mwansa explains that he is confident that the plans will go a long way in helping to address several challenges affecting the sector. He is happy that the government has attached great importance to small-scale mining in the country. And officiating the launch, Ministry of Mines Director Human Resource reaffirmed government's resolve stimulate small-scale mining in the country. He says the small-scale mining sector plays a critical role in government revenue generation and employment creation.
Lack of training, lack of trained manpower to increase the level of production. I would like to believe that each one of us will know that we are lacking those areas. Number 5, lack of investment in state-of-the-art equipment to improve production.
Industrial minerals and energy minerals, which is mainly characterized by small-scale mining. Government prioritized the small-scale mining sector by implementing initiatives to support small-scale miners, as it is contributes largely to the Zambian economy in terms of taxes as well as retained earnings. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, the Patriotic Front government has shown care and support and encouraged the Federation to form a long-term plan on which it can realize its full potential. Available evidence suggests that the small-scale mining subsector employs more people from the locality, both directly and indirectly.
Choma Central electorates have warned the opposition United Party for National Development UPND not to go against the will of the people. Wednesday, over 40 village headmen and representatives to the chief said people should be allowed to choose who should represent them in parliament. Sinya Ngambala and village headman Sengani Ratson also explained that over 5 wards are not part of the groups that pleaded for Choma Central Cornelius Mwitwa to retract his decision that he will not recontest the seat. The village headman said that it's time for a new candidate to take over and that Mr. Mwitwa should concentrate on campaigning for President Hakainde Hichilema. And speaking at the same event, village headman Sia Kakole has accused the sitting area member of parliament of not engaging the community on developmental issues. On Monday, UPND youths in Choma gave Mr. Mwitwa 24 hours in which to file in his nomination papers to contest for the seat, failure to which they will petition his decision with relevant officers. This was after Mr. Mwitwa had announced at a media briefing in Lusaka that he was considering not to recontest the Choma Central seat.
Avoti bantu tabaji mupibulemu so swaba twagari komene kuti mwana waye ya buruti buri to basima bugu wamba kuti istep njajita waye ya mburi ngaga yede Nelson Mandela jindi nagamba kuti segoyima akuyimeumbi bana South Africa bagali gumulemega anika yonse yali gumulemega aswaba bamwe twatura muyanda tuyanda kuti gamulemegwa igisi jonse mbona na kuti nako bakuzvidira ko kuti bako yakumutyani kumwe akunzi kumbere ibiyo atuberekera antomwe
inose batabana babo tulalirira tana imala kutola kuti usaka notutabona imali takwato tujisi ukuthi tubalirire kuti tata twapenga chilibobuya twababura bakuyuba nabakakunjira bwandazi sita mbwina bwandeba
tatujiyandi ndisatujinche ndizango tuyinche uyotubambira road uyotiyagera chibhadhera
ali mwendisi uyotubambira
kamba amubone muzikoro tulalira twabura malito amumiza kuti katusanga abusu bakuyaga imanda abamayi ukuthi mula MP mulani ejaba no papa tuli amuyage nganda yamwiye amuyage ga kliniki chibhadhera ika kliniki mboga imina kuzesko kakupima boyo bana abasimata.
World Health Organization country representative Nathan Byakaika has assured Zambians that the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is on the COVAX vaccine finance program by UNICEF under the World Health Organization arrangement, is safe and effective. Mr. Byakaika says AstraZeneca vaccine has been recommended by World Health Organization and the Strategic Advisory Group on Immunization. He has told Camnet TV News in an interview that the World Health Organization support adoption of vaccine as an additional intervention in the fight against COVID-19. And Mr. Byakaika has hailed the Zambian government for adopting the acquisition, deployment and financing of the COVID-19 vaccine.
I think as WHO and in the whole world, and even the Africa CDC, which is the launch we are doing now, we all support the adopting use of vaccines as an additional intervention in the fight against COVID-19. You are aware of the COVAX facility where UNICEF, WHO and CEPI and also working with Gavi have come together to try and provide vaccines to the country. We are aware of the AVAT, which is the African Union initiative to also make sure that vaccines are available to people. So what I will say is that we support the decision by government to go ahead and adopt the vaccines, and we'll continue supporting all aspects of this work, including the operations, including the technical advice that we give until that becomes a reality here in Zambia. Well, what we know at the moment that it is a safe, efficacious vaccine that has been recommended by the WHO SAGE, Strategic Advisory Group on Immunization. And so it is a very safe vaccine that will be used, but it's also among a number of vaccines that have been approved globally by WHO, but also have been adopted by the government of Zambia.
Operation 100 COVID-19 Task Force Chairperson Inambao Sitwayo has called on the government to employ more health workers amidst rumors that the third wave of the COVID-19 may break out in the country. Addressing the media Thursday, Mr. Sitwayo notes that the country already has a shortfall of health workers worsened by the COVID-19, hence calling on the authorities to look at this matter with the urgency it deserves. He explains that the third wave of the COVID-19 will affect children as well, hence the need to ensure that measures are put in place to prevent the loss of life. Meanwhile, Mr. Sitwayo has also mentioned that the task force has decided to extend the 100 days period with a view of ensuring that the campaign is extended and the message is sent across.
The looming third wave, and that is likely to be more lethal and more virulent in children, we have been compassionately moved to reconsider the extension of the fight against COVID-19, hence the amendment of our mandate period to Operation 100 Days and beyond. In order to continue serving precious and valuable human resource for our country, for the development of the nation, in the same vein, we call upon government to expeditiously recruit more health workers, especially those that are in the testing facilities, in the laboratories. They need to be recruited as quickly as possible, so that we have a larger turnout in the testing capacity for the country, so that we can know more cases and learn and know how to handle them as quickly as possible. The other cadre that we like and to call upon government to employ more is actually the psychosocial counselors. This is another cadre that is needed right now, because we need this psychosocial counselor to prepare the minds of the people that are in the front line, so that as they enter the battlefield, because this is a war that has been declared, it's a pandemic, it's a disaster, and therefore the people must be ready psychologically and physically to enter into a zone where they need to prepare their minds.
You're watching Camnet TV's main news. We take our first set of commercials. We'll be back with more news after this.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself? Well, Amwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me. Yes! I already know the secrets. Oracle Pure Glycerin.
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin. Are you a qualified and skilled marketing person? Have you got the passion and motivation as a marketer? Camnet TV is looking for self-motivated, qualified marketers. For more details, please call 0962 965 883 or send your details to the email info@camnettvafrica.com.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Welcome back. We continue with the rest of the news. The opposition movement for multi-party democracy is still contemplating on the agenda to belong to a political party alliance. MMD National Secretary Elizabeth Chitika says the party is setting up a committee that will chart the way forward on the issue of the alliance. She told a media briefing in Lusaka Thursday that the nation will be informed on the details of the alliance. In the meantime, Ms. Chitika says individuals who are fighting the party will end up injuring themselves. She says the party has moved on and is preoccupied with the August 12th general elections. She adds that the party had extended an amnesty to people who were in bad standing with the party, adding those who were willing were given a chance.
If you remember, before the convention, the president had announced that this was one of the issues that was going to be tabled at the convention. And I'm happy to state that it was tabled, and the convention agreed that yes, it is important that we need to start thinking about working with others, but we needed to have a committee put in place headed by our vice president political. I've been sitting. Yesterday I was given a report that they've done extensive work, and they are going to address or to take the press next Wednesday for them to tell you exactly the modalities of working with anyone that will come on the table. So that's all I can say about the alliances. Wait for the chairman and the committee to address this issue about next week Tuesday. They are going to take the press. The MMD has moved on. So issues of 1, 2, 3 people trying to disrupt the the organization of this party is not. It's neither here nor there. We have moved on. So if there are 2 or 3 people trying to be a problem to the party, they'll just hinder themselves. We have moved on. So our focus is August.
More than 30 heads of government departments in Eastern Province have been inducted and sworn in to take up some responsibilities of human resource management by the Civil Service Commission. Public Service Management Division Permanent Secretary Boniface Chimbwali says the induction of the 35 members of staff into the Human Resource Management Committee will help quicken the process of HR cases in the province.
Having been appointed as the Management Committee.
35 civil servants in Eastern Province have been inducted into the Human Resources Management Committee after 3 days of training. The inducted staff took oath to take up delegated responsibilities in human resource functions and to process some outstanding human resource cases. Public Service Management Division Permanent Secretary Boniface Chimbwali graced the event.
I think this is an honorable and very, very important exercise to empower the local people to make the decisions, because you know the people. You know who is performing and you know who is not performing. Therefore, as a tool to managing motivation in the civil service, we can only hope that this reform process will reinforce issues of motivation, to confirm the people timely, promote the people timely, and hold the people accountable timely.
Civil Service Commission Vice Chairperson Hilary Chipango gave the keynote speech.
The Commission has therefore resolved to delegate 2 of its functions, namely confirmations and transfers on exchange basis within a district from salary scales C to K. This will indeed cut down on the bureaucracy and turn around time of processing human resources cases in the civil service. Ultimately, this will enhance efficiency and effectiveness, as well as uplifting our civil servants' morale.
Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Veronica Mwiche urged the newly inducted members to remain committed to the values and code of ethics of the public service.
This intervention is indeed in line with the resolve and the commitment of the government under the leadership of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, to continuously improve service delivery to the citizens and enhance the management of the public service through interventions such as decentralization, which is what is being done here through the setting up of this Human Resource Committee at this decentralized level.
And participants are ready to take up responsibilities.
I assure you, Vice Chairperson, that we will work tirelessly to ensure that the civil service delivery is improved in Eastern Province.
Sylvester Shimba for Zanis, in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
In other news, Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo says a robust plan for infrastructure development has been put in place for the Zambia Police Service, with Chongwe being a priority. Speaking when he commissioned housing units for police officers in Chongwe District, Mr. Kampyongo states that the plan includes a modern police station and more housing units to be constructed when the second phase of the housing project is flagged off. The lawmaker states that government has prioritized capacity building of security wings to enhance service delivery to citizens and uphold ethical conduct and professionalism. Meanwhile, the Home Affairs Minister has advised Patriotic Front youths to be peaceful and avoid violence. News clip is courtesy of Smart Eagles.
Government stands to change this posture and turn the status quo of Chongwe for the future generations to come and appreciate. It is for this reason that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia has resolved to deliver development to this district and better the lives of people as a matter of urgency. Azimai ndiazibambo mwazimvelela ni karibu bwela pano ine baona boe mpiwa kuno kuchongwe bene chishi bakamba mao ya kuchongwe inasalila maningi muchitukuko. But once muzi bakuti pamene chipani cha PF chinangena mu usogoleli zochitika zinaonekai ma airport yalipo pafupi hapa, ma university mulinayo muno, ma roads yalimo, omuntu siakukonda akondeko milimo zako.
Minister of Health Dr. Jonas Chanda has sent a strong warning to learning institutions that they risk closure should cases of COVID-19 at the institutions continue to rise due to laxity of following preventive guidelines. Commenting on a report that a significant number of students from Levi Mwanawasa Medical University had tested positive for COVID-19, Dr. Chanda said he was disappointed that a medical university that should lead by example was the one recording cases. And Dr. Chanda has called on the public to not relax, adhering to the preventive guidelines over the coming long weekend, as large gatherings are the spread ground of the virus. And the country has in the last 24 hours recorded 131 new cases with 4 new deaths. This brings the total number of COVID-19 deaths in the country to 1,212. 5 organizations have petitioned the Lusaka High Court over the newly enacted Cybersecurity and Cybercrimes Bill Act number 2 of 2021. Chapter 1 Foundation, Bloggers of Zambia Limited, Gears Initiative and People's Action for Accountability and Good Governance in Zambia and Alliance for Community Action have petitioned the Attorney General and the Director of Public Prosecutions as first and second respondents. The petitioner says government contravened Article 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 of the Constitution of Zambia. The petitioners have told the court that the Cybercrimes and Cybersecurity Act contains provisions which threatens the right to protect of the law guaranteed by Article 18 and freedom of conscience guaranteed by Article 19, the freedom of expression enshrined in Article 21 and the freedom of press enshrined in Article 22. The petitioner submits that the Cybersecurity and Cybercrimes Act seek to provide penal legislative control over the digital space by criminalizing several acts and in broad and vaguely defined terms. The petitioners urge the Article 16 of 1 of the Constitution guarantees the protection of all persons from deprivation of their property, and Article 17 of the Constitution guarantees the right to privacy as quoted. Lusaka Magistrate Fides Hamaundu has committed United Party for National Development KANYAMA chairlady to the Lusaka High Court for trial proceedings in the matter she has been accused of murdering a 31-year-old Patriotic Front member Terence Mtale. Appearing before court this morning for her mission and possible committal, Lonika Musomela was committed to the High Court following instructions from the Director of Public Prosecution. The UPND chairlady, who is also a businesswoman, stands charged with 1 count of murder. In this case, allegations are that the deceased person, among other Patriotic Front members, on January 27, 2021, attacked mourners at the funeral house of a UPND supporter, leaving a trail of destruction. Hours later, the two parties clashed and a fight ensued, which resulted in the death of the PF member. We'll take our second set of commercials. Coming next is international and sports news.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You've heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years, the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses. With only a few months remaining down to the ballot, the battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Are you a qualified and skilled marketing person? Have you got the passion and motivation as a marketer? Camnet TV is looking for self-motivated, qualified marketers. For more details, please call 0962 965 883 or send your details to the email info@camnettvafrica.com.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Welcome back. Now in international news. Fighting between soldiers and an armed group has been going on since March 24th in Mozambique's northern Cabo Delgado province after ISIS-linked group raided Palm Town. Leaders from the Southern African Development Community have been discussing how they respond to the threat. The United Nations says the humanitarian situation there is worsening by the day. Al Jazeera's Haru Mutasa reports from Harare, neighboring Zimbabwe.
Palma is deserted. International aid agencies say thousands of people have already fled. Fighting between soldiers and an armed group that calls itself Al-Shabaab has been going on for days. The town in Mozambique's northern Cabo Delgado province has been the site of major gas discoveries in recent years. The exact number of people killed, injured and unaccounted for is still unknown. Some of those displaced by the recent violence have started arriving in Pemba, the provincial capital.
What has happened in Palma is an absolute horror being inflicted on civilians by a non-state armed group. That is what I can say. They have done horrific things. They are still doing so. We have reports this morning of continued sporadic clashes. That is why we are talking about our expectations of thousands of more people moving out from Palma district and towards other areas of the country and towards the border with Tanzania.
Far to the southwest, in Zimbabwe's capital Harare, Southern African leaders say the escalating violence in northern Mozambique is their top priority.
We as SADC respond in a helpful manner to ensure that we assure the integrity and sovereignty of one of our own.
The Southern African Development Community Security Troika brings together the leaders of Zimbabwe, Botswana and South Africa. Botswana's president, Mokgweetsi Masisi, suggests some kind of regional response is imminent.
I'll speak on behalf of the Troika as chair. Following our consultations, we're going to make that known. And right now we're to finish off with President Ramaphosa. But you won't need to look for it when you see it.
There is speculation a regional force might be sent to Mozambique. Deploying troops has been done before in the region. In the late 1990s, Angola, Namibia and Zimbabwe sent forces to the Democratic Republic of Congo to assist the government. Before that, soldiers from Zimbabwe helped defeat Renamo insurgents in central Mozambique. The UN World Food Programme says more than 900,000 people in Mozambique now require food aid because of the crisis in Cabo Delgado. Haru Mutasa, Al Jazeera, Harare.
We'll now get into our sports news. Former FC Porto left-back Emmanuel MBOLA has joined Zambia's Super League defending champions, NKANA Kalamba, the club has revealed. MBOLA joins KANYAMA as a free agent after being attached for several months. MBOLA is the second player to be unveiled by the Kitwe Giants in the last 48 hours after Zimbabwean defensive midfielder Tichiona Chipunza's acquisition was made public on Tuesday. MBOLA says it's now time to work and help the team get back to where it belongs. MBOLA added that he was happy to be part of the rich history of the club and that he is ready to work for positive results for NKANA. MBOLA previously played for AfriSport and later Mining Rangers. He later secured a move to Punic UREVN, where he tested UEFA Champions League football with the then AMNIA champions and the 2009-2010 champion. This story is courtesy of Zamfoot Sports. Well, that sports item brings us to the end of Camnet TV's main news, but before we go, the headlines once again. A 24-year-old female cerebral palsy patient raped by a non-KANYAMA man. MMD says it's still contemplating on which side of political alliance it should belong to. World Health Organization assures Zambians of the safety of COVAX vaccine for COVID-19. And in international news, Mozambique UNREST regional leaders discuss ways of ending violence. And in sports, MBOLA is raid as former TP MAZEMBE left back joins NKANA. And now we'll take a look at the verse of the day coming from the book of Romans 10 verse 17, and it reads, "So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Pleasant viewing and good evening.